The audio. Hey guys, if you guys can hear us, please let us know. If you can't hear us, let us know as well. Okay, we are about to go live. This is actually streamed at Dreamforce. Mic bug, microphone.
Let me help you.
Okay.
Wait, you just need to lift
Oh my
the
God.
bottom.
Thank you guys. I think we can just go with Rick's camera right now, right? Okay. Guys, if you guys can see us, please let us know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. This is our video squad.
Oh wow. Okay.
So
No,
our
I meant
video
all
squad
these things.
came through. Yeah, exactly. It's yeah, I cannot explain. It's a total secret right now. But yeah. Okay. I'm so excited for this.
Thank
Okay,
you.
maybe we can start. Rick, do you think we can start?
So should I look there or there or?
I think we can just look at Rick's camera
Okay.
and then like I think our stream will be the backup for now. Okay, amazing. So today here we are having one of my most like dream guests, the President and CTO of Salesforce, MK. So MK, welcome to Venture with Grace.
Thank you. Thank you. Great to do this interview, Grace.
Okay, so to start the show, I want to give the audience a little bit of context. We're currently at Dreamforce in San Francisco, and this is my first time attending, but like for Dreamforce.
How do you like Dreamforce? It's your first time.
Oh my God, it's like basically the Disneyland for enterprise SaaS. So
Right.
I'm like very excited for my first experience. And the first day I listened to the talk, like Mark was given with all the customers, all the like Fortune 500 executives. And I feel like it was very inspired. One of the audience actually asked Mark a really cool question, which is like, you know, nowadays, like everybody's building an AI, all these model company. Even yesterday, I'm pretty sure the OpenAI executives was there as well. And like, you know, people are asking, you know, OpenAI is like also building agents. So how are we going to kind of, you know, basically handle that kind of situation, because there's a lot of people are building. And Mark's answer was like really cool. It's like, you know, the customer don't want the model, the customer want a tool that works.
Right.
So
a solution that works for their
exactly.
business. Yes.
Yeah. So I feel like that's my biggest takeaway. What about you? I would love to hear from you, like since you're the CTO, maybe we could talk about like, you know, the difference between last year and this year. So last year, a lot of AI was in concept, but this year it's like everything is in production. Maybe we could start with like what are the innovations for this year's Dreamforce?
Absolutely. First of all, thank you. Love to be here on this podcast. I think last year, like you said, Grace, the big thing was we were introducing Agentforce. It was still pilot, and we were all learning along the way. But this year, over the last year, we've been working very, very hard to put them into production. And the proof is in the pudding. You saw in the main keynote, like sort of the variety of customers from across industries who have sort of had success in sort of running Agentforce and seeing tangible results as a result of that. I think that to me is a big sort of difference from last year. It was also for our own company. So first of all, let me step back to your original other question too, and then I'll come back to this, which is why is Salesforce relevant, or why do we think other companies can just go create models, etc. I think let's take any business on this planet, any business, healthcare, could be pharma, could be finance, it could be small business, doesn't matter. What does every business need? Let's say you have a product. What do you need to do first?
We need to sell the product.
Exactly. You need to first advertise, right? You need to market, right? Then you need to have a sales cycle, maybe some online commerce. And then once you sell it, you need to service it, right? Then you go to analyze like what's going on with your business. Guess who's the leader in all of that? Salesforce, right?
Exactly.
And so really, if you look at it, the reason the MIT study came out recently, if you remember, like 95% of a lot of the AI projects fail. Why? Because people initially thought last year, the year before, all you need is a model, right? Throw a model in there, pay millions of dollars, get a fine-tuned model, things will work. That's not the case, because that can be the case for consumer tech, because consumer tech is all about public content. You can just ingest anything and do it. When you come to the enterprise, the problem is it comes to security of your data, security of your business process, and every enterprise is different, right? So the reason enterprise software doesn't work if you just use the off-the-shelf is because of those, right? And second is you want this AI to be in the line of work, right? Imagine just giving an LLM to some salesperson and a service person. What are they going to do? It needs to be in their line of work. right?
Mm,
And which company is in the line of work for every customer? Salesforce,
exactly.
right? So this is really why we believe something like Agentforce that we have, that's taking the power of the LLM, but blending it with the business by using secure data, secure process, and APIs
Mhm.
is the winning formula.
Speaking of data, I feel like data is powering everything. The
Right.
fundamental of AI really depends on the data. Maybe we could talk about from the data perspective, like
Yep.
how is Salesforce innovating in the data space?
Great question. So if you really think about, as I said earlier, without the right data, AI is meaningless, particularly in the enterprise space.
Mhm.
And the problem with enterprises is they have data in like everywhere, right? They have data in CRM, they have data in warehouses, lake houses, you name it, right? And so one of the big efforts we've been doing the last several years is this project called Data Cloud. Now we called it Data 360, which is really about bringing all that data together, either physically or virtually. We call that zero copy. So we are able to then link all that data to the customer context, right? And the business context. And now we are able to pop that right in the applications. I'll give a simple example. So today when you go into salesforce.com, right, you click on the website, you're browsing around, you are a lead for us, right? And so what happens is all that engagement information is now stored in Data 360. We sort of look at who's the lead, we score the lead, and before Agentforce, 90% of the leads, nobody would care, right? Unless you're a high quality lead that somebody can take a phone call, the salesperson can spend time, great. If not, we didn't care. But now what we were able to do is translate that data and fire an SDR. SDR is a sales sort of a rep, if you may, almost, where the Agentforce is going to now have an engaging conversation with the customer through email. And we're already seeing tremendous results with that, right? We have a huge pipe created just by talking to all these customers who we would have otherwise not even talked about. That's a good example of how even something that's as simple as just website sort of engagement data, we're able to bring it together to go make this happen. And same on our sales help site as well, where today, if you go to our help site, you have an agent right there that is grounded in all the data both about you as a customer, the bugs you have and everything. It's also grounded in the data about all of the documents we have so that we can do the right answer. And that agent is already answering more than 2 million, close to 2 million questions from customers.
What is the I guess like the most amount of question we're asked by the customers?
Great question. I think it's a combination. A lot of questions are about how to use a product, right? Like, hey, what does this do? How do I do this? Second set of, I would say, category would be things like, okay, this is broken. What do I do? Right? Like, hey, or my connection is not working, or my network, I got this error. What do I do? Right? So those are the two big categories. And imagine this was driving such a huge support volume. But now with agents, it's working 24/7 across multiple languages. And so we're able to make the customers happy because they just go there, put it, they get an answer, they're happy, right? Instead of, imagine waiting on a phone call, right? Calling somebody, filing a case, that whole thing has been shrunk to just ask a question, you get an answer.
I think that's such an interesting observation because that's exactly what I totally assume, that like people sometimes just don't know how to use a tool. Speaking of using a tool, I feel like Salesforce has been transforming itself from
Correct.
the last generation of like, helping people with the CRM, but like now it's a full-blown platform.
Right. We call that, by the way, the agentic enterprise.
Exactly, the agentic enterprise. And in the future, I feel like a lot of people were really excited about like agent orchestration and
right.
leveraging, like in the past people were managing the human behaviors, but now it's like people are managing AI agents.
Exactly.
And maybe we could talk about on that end, like maybe we talk about the overall landscape of AI, and we could talk about the vision for Salesforce.
Great question.
For the future.
Great question. So we call this the agentic enterprise. What is an agentic enterprise? It's about it's not just about throwing a bunch of agents here and there. It's really about reimagining your entire business around AI, around agents. What does that mean? Let's take the life of every function in an enterprise, right? Let's start with a developer. As a developer, you need to have the latest AI helping you with doing PRD generation, design specs, with coding, with testing, right? So all of those things. And so we have things like testing center and other kind of things we have developed to help there. The next level is let's take a salesperson, right? Then you need the agentic help to be able to go create the lead, source the lead, do pipeline generation, help you prepare for meetings by giving all the right context, right? Help you coach with the meeting, all of that stuff. That is agentic sales, really reimagining sales. And then you take service people, customer support people. Again, you want to make sure the agents are helping you with all the low level things. Any escalation that comes to you, you have all the data right in there for you to be able to go answer that question or be proactive as well. If something's going to go wrong, go fix it right away, right? And then you imagine employees in your company. How many times, if you're in a big company, first thing you get is a laptop. Most likely it won't work. You need to file a ticket, right? That's where things like ITSM comes in. So what we are imagining the enterprise is going beyond just managing customers to managing employees using Slack, ITSM, and other functionality. We just released ITSM, by the way, this week. And going to managing operations behind the scenes, like we launched Agentforce supply chain. We have field service. Like, I don't know if you know, field service helps you go manage all of the assets, digital assets. We said the keynote we showed about how sort of Pepsi was using some of this. And then we have managing agents themselves, because now as agents proliferate, who's going to govern the agents?
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. And how do you make sure when you have agent to agent communication using A2A and everything else, you want to make sure the context is passing correctly. You want to have the right tools. You want to understand even is the agent saying the right thing? What's the lineage behind it? All of that. So as an agentic enterprise, it's beyond customers to customers plus employees to backend operations to agents all together. That's what we mean by the agentic enterprise. And we are really going to be changing every aspect of the business. I think that is the most important thing. It is not about just one agent helping you do something. It's really reimagining the business process completely in your enterprise.
For sure. I totally agree with you. I feel like a lot of times, like, people are really focusing on the technology, like, how's AI going to take our job, or like, how's AI going to do X, Y, Z. But in the end of the day, it's like the result that matters.
Correct.
Like, it's like how you're leveraging AI technology
Correct.
into your day-to-day work, and then how is that kind of going to improve your work production and efficiency. Speaking of that, I guess like maybe we could talk about some customers of Salesforce. You mentioned about Pepsi, like these like kind of industrial production companies. Maybe we could talk about like any case study that you personally find really interesting that you saw people actually leveraging Salesforce to improve their efficiency, leveraging AI.
Yeah, I think we have a number of examples. I would say the first thing that comes to mind is Williams Sonoma. We just talked about in the thing. It's a beautiful website. You can all go try it out yourself. The sous chef is a good example, where Williams Sonoma wants to really engage their customers, not directly trying to sell them goods, but giving them recipes and helping them create new experiences. And part of that could be people were like, okay, what should I go buy to make this thing? Yes, they can go sell it there. But it's a new way of really using agents to kind of help you create a different experience and then have your product seemingly integrated in there, right? That's a great example of that. And it looks simple, but it actually has a lot of things behind the scenes, because it has to bring all the data about the recipes, the right recipes, and so on. You have to bring the customer context in there, because let's say the customer has already purchased some product. You want to be able to refer that and say, oh, you already purchased this. Oh, you could make this stew in it, or you could make this in it, right? Did you try it out? And or upsell, cross sell as well, right? Those kind of things. So you can kind of bring an interesting commerce angle, sales angle as well into that. The other big example I would often quote is FedEx, where you saw them on the screen sort of as an example. They had a lot of problems because all their website data was sitting in Azure Databricks. All their customer data was in CRM. And the problem that they were running into was people would come to the website, like to do international shipments. They would click on page 1, 2, 3, and they will drop off. And there was no way to cross correlate these two because the data was all over the map. So now with Data 360, without moving any of the data, they have petabytes of data in Databricks. They were able to just connect the Databricks data with their CRM data with some backend supply data. So now what happened is, if you come to their website, you don't complete that 5-page whatever shipping thing, they would know who you are. They would be able to send you an email And if you don't respond to the email in a day, they would escalate to the person to call them. And this, they were able to improve their closure rate by over 80%. It saves them millions and millions of dollars by doing this, right? Top line as an example. So these are some just simple examples, and I can go on and on. Like our own customer Zero is a great example. Like I said, when we did the help.salesforce.com implementation just like several months ago, our support case volume went up 7%, but we decreased the support reps by 7%. 14% gap we were able to achieve just by putting these agents in there. Or that is the bottom line. On the top line, our SDR agents, in just the last month alone, we have created more than 60 million plus open pipe.
Wow.
Without anybody involved, just talking an email. Why? Because the emails are personalized. It knows your context. It knows the business, right? It knows the product to go talk to you about. So both top line and bottom line, we are seeing that sort of big advantage for us. And as I said, like the Williams-Sonoma example, new experiences we're able to go generate.
Wow, I'm so excited because actually yesterday I walked past by the Williams-Sonoma.
Oh, did you go to
demo.
Agentforce City?
Yeah.
Wasn't that awesome?
City,
yeah,
it
if
was
you're here at
amazing.
Dreamforce, don't miss
Oh my
Agentforce
God,
City.
yes,
Yeah,
totally. It's like little Disneyland over there.
exactly.
And there was like lines by
You probably saw Pandora,
yeah,
you saw like Pepsi, you saw all of those,
and
right?
Lululemon, the line
Right.
was so long, and I feel like it was such an exciting experience. I also stopped by the LinkedIn booth as a LinkedIn content creator. I feel like it was such a full-on like Dreamforce experience for me to like actually experience this. So speaking of LinkedIn, like a lot of our audience live on LinkedIn, and I wanted to learn more about like, what's your perspective on the future of jobs? Because a lot of people may fear of like, the job that they're currently doing today may be replaced by AI soon. So like, as people evolving and adopting AI, what are the crucial skill that you feel like people should be helping themselves building or like acquiring, and then versus, what are something that you feel like will be replaced by AI?
Yeah, great question. And this is often 3 years ago, if you asked me when ChatGPT came out, I was also worried. I said, my God, will there be any jobs left in a year? Right? But I think what we've realized is AI is a superpower. Just like when computers came, people were worried like, oh, it's going to replace my jobs, right? But the reality is we ended up creating more jobs than we can ever imagine before, new kinds of jobs. So the way you should look at AI is not to fear it. AI is a superpower, but we also now know it needs to be harnessed to help in the line of work, right? So the thing that you should look at is your job will change. I don't think that is up for debate. Every job will change, but the more you can use AI to make yourself better, the faster you can be part of that change. Don't let the change come to you. You need to be that change. And the way to be that change is to know what is happening, and then new opportunities are popping up every day for you to reimagine the business that you're doing, right? And so my suggestion to you, being in Salesforce here, definitely there's a huge resource that we have called Trailhead. If you've not used it, please use it. It's free. Any one of you can use it. It's hands-on. It can really take you to the next step in understanding what agents are. How can you use agents, simple scenarios even for your business? I think that can be a good step up for you, for anybody for that matter, to kind of help learn in this thing. And of course, like listening to podcasts like you're doing, right?
God,
and
yes.
Others are definitely a great help. But my suggestion is don't fear AI. Learn it, make it your tool. Just like you have the phone right now in your pocket, where if you need math, you don't worry about math anymore. You just go open up the calculator and do it. It doesn't mean we all sort of have to forget math, but think about it as a tool. Make it part of you. Like I said, don't let change come to you. You need to be the change.
You need to be the champion. Wow, that's such a great note. Okay, so we're gonna wrap with one more question for you. This question is exciting. It's actually requested by the audience since I post about like our life today. Is people are asking what is in your toolkit? Like what is one AI tool that you couldn't live without?
Oh wow, what is one? I think definitely ChatGPT from a consumer perspective is one. From an enterprise perspective, for us, Slack is our number one tool that we use with all the agents embedded in there. We, at least We use Slack in Salesforce a lot.
Mhm.
I used to be a huge email user before in
Mhm.
Outlook. I rarely use email anymore.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
so definitely, I think I would say Slack and the AI that comes with Slack, Slack bots and Slack agents that are all Agentforce is integrated into Slack today. So we use that every day, every aspect of our day.
I feel like the CMO of Slack will be very happy
Oh
to hear
yes.
this because we're going live this noon at 12 with the CMO of Slack. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. It was such an amazing conversation with MK, and I'm so excited to chat more.
All right. Thank you.
Yay! Okay.
All right.
Okay, let me just quickly end stream. Oh my god.
What do you think?
Stream.
Is it good?